Welcome back, everybody, to the Anti-Stall Racing IMSA series. It's round 7 this season. We've got one more to go after this. We missed a broadcast last week, so I'll run through a brief cover of the results at some point during today's qualifying session. But the important thing is we are back. We are back racing at Road America, a classic track in the Anti-Stall Racing IMSA series as well. We come here quite often, and it is really good to be back. Great track for racing. We've got the big straight, runs all the way from what I believe is turn 14 down to turn 1. So it's going to be great to watch the racing down there. It's a great opportunity for overtakes into turn 1. And then you've got this little almost second straight rather than a back straight, you'd say. Another great opportunity for overtaking, and then another great opportunity for overtaking further around the lap into Canada Corner when we get there. See the cars we've got out on track there. Remember, this session split into two. We've got the GT3 session at the beginning of this session, so it's all split into two, like I just said. GT3s at the beginning, and then GTPs or hypercars for the second half of the session. We've got plenty of our GT3 drivers out on track at the moment. In this queue, car number 12, Carlos Bozapoya, a man who we are used to seeing out front in the Anti-Stall Racing IMSA series, currently leads the GT3 Pro Championship after winning the LMP2 Championship last season. Alessandro Vannozzi sits just behind him in the championship after having outscored him last week at Le Mans. Stanley Debut is in third ahead of Juan Carlos Martin. It's a big gap for Boya at the front. 1,804 points versus 1,621 for Vannozzi. And a very nice drop round for Boya. Lowest scoring round so far was actually last week out at Le Mans. 285 points scored there versus the drop round for Vannozzi at Monza of only 30 points scored there for Vannozzi, unfortunately. Melvin Gack leads in the AM Championship, 1,886 points, ahead of Nick Kersons on 1,626. So similar gap there, similar drop rounds as well. Gack with a 352 point drop round at Monza, and also the same points scored at Red Bull Ring as well. But that's his lowest point scoring round, so it's very impressive. And then Nick Kersons again with a 35, coincidentally also at Monza. So we'll see where they level out at the end of the season, but that's going to be a tough gap for Kersons to close. Cardi not that far behind Kersons as well, 1,542. And Michael van der Ven, 1,539. That's going to be the battle to watch, Cardi versus Ven for the podium in the championship. Starting to see the timing board fill up a little bit more now. Francesco Petelin looking quick out there in the Lamborghini for Absolute Motorsport Assalif. Pushing the track to the limits. Boya asking for an incident to be checked already. Petelin then is going to be to the line shortly. Bolkstein sets for the benchmark time, 205.426. What can Petelin do? 205.424. So close out front, 200ths, thousandths of a second. Well, that is now stretched out with Debut across the line in the Aston to 204.324. Wow, the 53 Who is that? That is Sam Barton has been given a pit lane start for impeding. Wow. Big penalty. I think that's what that said. Yeah. This incident here, I think. That's not quite the right angle for it, is it? So let's find another replay angle of that. Go. Just dawdling on the racing line, turning in when Hoyer was coming through, and that's what's not impressed for stewards. Petterlin setting some purple sector times again, but struggling in the middle sector as Venosi goes up to second place with a 2:04.364. Hoyer improving as well. That last lap invalidated. A purple sector 5 will always help you go up towards the top, but that is taken away by Debut on his most recent run. But it is quickest time of the day for Hoyer, 2:03.892. There's a lovely... It's telling me that we've had a couple of class changes that I need to... Bear with me while we watch Melvin Gack, the AM Championship leader, who set 2 purple sectors so far this lap. That is overall purples. Stefan van der Velde has switched from the Cadillac to the Ferrari GTP, so that doesn't affect this. And Jens Soyers has also switched from the Aston Martin GT3 to the Mustang GT3. That's 16th moment. Nick Kirsten's at the front then in the BMW, but Hoyer is pushing on again. It's 2 greens and 2 purples this time. 2 greens, 3 purples now. Venosi goes to the top. All greens, no purples on that lap, just consistently good. That was a 6:19. Hoyer, 2 greens. Is it going to be 3 greens? No, it's a yellow to finish off the lap. And a yellow and an off-track. No, it was not an off-track. Enough to go to the top by a healthy margin. It's our first driver into the 202s. And it's a 2:02.992. Stanley Boo back up to second place. Donny Duval, that time invalidated, unfortunately. Sector 1. Felipe Pena Gonzalez goes up to second place. On board the lovely sounding Huracan GT3. I believe this car has now been replaced in real life. I have a Temerario, I believe. Still get to enjoy it in iRacing. All of its glory. Difficult corner through here. Really got to open it up as much as you can, and then up the hill, start braking as you come over the crest can make it really tricky, especially in the hypercars where you've not got the ABS system. And then take this as flat as you can. You can really open it up if you use all of the curb on the entry and the exit. And now we're getting towards Big Bend. How do you take it? Everybody's got a different approach. You send it more on the way in and struggle on the way out. Do you take it really slow on the way in and use all of the width track to get the power down as early as possible on the way out of the corner. Pedaling now, braking, getting ready to brake into Canada corner. Just before the 300 metre mark. Get up onto a curb, use all of that black bit on the exit. Power, get a little bit loose over the hill, use all of the track that you can. And that final corner, one of the most difficult on the track, weirdly. It's a little bit off camber, easy to slide out wide, keeps it within track limits though. Now pedaling, he'll be looking for an improvement. To the line, goes up to P2, it's quite the improvement, 17th or 16th I believe, up to second place. Actually started off that next lap with a purple sector 1 as well. Luca Picardi to the line, a yellow and 3 greens does not improve position but does improve time. Team Scholten, second slowest of the qualified cars, is finding a little bit of time out there. Now braking into Canada corner in the AMG. It's all about width on the outside. Now this more technical final sector. Petlin then has got that sector 1 purple, but it's a lot of yellows after that. I don't think it's going to be enough to challenge Poya. We're still in the pit lane for Poya, who knows that we are now at the end of the session. With the green flag for hypercars now, as they're going to start to roll out of the pit lane. You can see them queuing up there, pedaling. P2, big improvement on that final lap. There was for debut. And is that it for cars on track? Now, the number 30, Luca Picardi, still going, finding some time. What can Picardi do to the line? Currently 15th place. Goes to 14th place, 1 position improvement. The number 10 still going, and number 10 has come into the pit lane. Van der Velden leads the field in this orange Ferrari. Remember, these guys are going to take a little bit of time to get their tyres up to temperature. To the right windows. They are. Brilliant, brilliant racing, I think. And let's run through last week's standings. Results, shall we say? Up. So, Le Mans. Melvin Gap scored the most points in GT3 AM ahead of Michael van der Ven. Rafa Venteo, third, I believe, on track. Luca Riccardi, then next, 308 points, 285 for Nick Kerson's, 284 for Team and Scholten qualifying, making the difference between those two. Donny Duval then behind Scholten, and then Rame behind him. GT3 Pro, won by Juan Carlos Martin, ahead of Venosi, Petlin, Ubertali, Poya. That round was Poya's lowest scoring round. Boo, Monty, Fernandez, Bolkstein, Manzanedo, Gonzalez. In GTPM, won by Pete Preens, ahead of Mazadan and Brian Mutter, Brody Maynard, Daniel Renek. GTP Provo, run by Ciambella last week, then Aceto, Giovannini, Don Lusignoli, only on 292 points last time out, and Cingale, 85. Getting very close in GTP Pro, Lusignoli on 1,686 points. Negligible difference between the drop rounds of the top three as well, I will say. Then 1,656 for Ciambella, Verdonk 1,620, Cheto 1,600, in Cingale 1,609. So less than 100 points between the top five, and Giovannini 1,572. So very close between the top six, really there. GTPM. Led by Pete Preens, 1,800 points ahead of Mazadan, Brody Maynard, just within about 125 points for top three. So easily could go either way, but I don't believe we have Brody today, so it'll be a 0 points round for Brody, unfortunately. Then Mutter, Groneveld, Renek, Nilsson. Seven Van der Velde going well. That's who we're watching now in the Ferrari. Giovannini looking quick behind though. Two purple sectors so far this lap for Giovannini of the three that they have completed. We're coming through the fourth sector timing line about now. Spoke too soon. Now, there we go, 29.2 for Giovannini. That is also purple through sector 4, so this could be a big, big lap. Giovannini and Avatar have warmed up after out in a warm-up lap. Giovannini then to the line, and it does go to the top, 49.802, and that puts him 4 tenths quicker than his two teammates behind. Oh, got a car off in the grass. That is Davide Aceto. Let's take a look what happened to Davide. Being loose through, well, what I would call turn 2, but I believe is actually cornered at named or numbered as turn 3. On the track map, there's a little kink in between 1 and 2. Oh, and there was a crash afterwards. That is under investigation. We're going to go on board and watch Greens, who's the off track here. Greens coming through. Oh, and the Ferrari just came back on track. I'd have to imagine that would be a pit lane start for the Ferrari, unfortunately. So keep an eye on that, but I think Echete may be getting a penalty, unfortunately, for that. Lucignoli finding time, 3 greens and a purple. Lucignoli could be looking to improve from what is currently 9th place behind 3 AM drivers we have today. And it is better for Lucignoli up to P2. We've got a nice little situation on the timing board. 4 Italians ahead of the 5 Dutch. Improvements for both of the top 2 so far this lap, and it's very, very close between them. I'm just trying to get my timing screen to go to a couple more decimal places so that I can actually see how close they are. And there we go. Very, very tight between them. Just 3 thousandths of a second separate them in Sector 2. A couple of hundredths in Sector 1 and a couple of hundredths in Sector 3. It's going to be really close between these two. I think Giovannini has just ever so slightly the edge so far this lap, but let's see how it goes through 4, 5 and 6 sector numbers. Brian Mutter in one of our 2 Porsches, also looking potentially to improve this lap. Sector 4 goes to Giovannini out front. Pit lane start for Davide Echete, as we suspected it may be. Giovannini then beats out Verdonk. Verdonk improved massively that lap too. Giovannini quickest on that last run, so he'll start another flight at the same time. We've got 2 minutes left. It's a 1 minute 50 lap time essentially, when you boil it down for these guys. So there will be this and 1 more attempt for most of our drivers. So,
hello there.
Oh, we've got Matteo joining us in the commentary box. How are you doing, Matteo?
Fine. And you?
I'm good, thank you. Just enjoying a very warm UK at the moment, and I'm sure it's the same in France.
Yeah, it's basically awful. We can't even breathe, so...
Yeah, pretty much the same here. Not very pleasant at all, but we'll push on. Especially when you've got your PC running in the background, kicking out a load of extra heat.
Yeah. It was like 36 degrees at work the whole day, so... Yeah.
Far too hot, far too hot. We've got a good qualifying session going on now. The checkered flag has just come out. And our top 3 are all going yellow so far this lap. So that lap from Giovannini to put it on pole could be what counts Muta and Chambella incident is under investigation. You can get that up. Let's take a look what happened. Muta out front. Oh, who gets loose, snaps, hits the wall, and unfortunately comes back on track and hits Chambella. I don't think there was really much to be done about that. I think Chambella is going to go flying so quickly that they get kicks back to the pit lane, unfortunately. Those two drivers, but no improvements on this flying lap apart from potentially poor Pete Preen's trying to go ahead of Muta. Does not, gets closer, but does not go. The Donk, no. Could be an opportunity here. There is some improvement in the second half of the lap. What you might have invalidated then.
Looks like no one is really improving.
Marginal improvement there for Verdonk, but not enough to put him ahead of anyone. So Verdonk will stay P3, and I think that's it for cars out on track. The 95 is out on track, but
That's
in the pit
pretty
lane.
close. If he improved by 700, he can be ahead. So
I think we're on for a pretty competitive race, both here and in GT3. So we'll see how that goes. What's it been like in the stewarding box this season, Matteo? I know you spent a lot of time in there.
it was very different from what I do usually, but very interesting. A lot of things to learn because it's very different of driving. For the last 10 season, I was driver here, so yeah, going on the other side of the world was
It's
quite
a
a
very, very different experience, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's amazing, to be honest. I love it.
Yeah.
And I can only recommend everyone to try it at least once to know what the race control has to do, because there are a lot of things to do. And as a driver, I wasn't aware of all of that.
There's a lot more goes on than you normally think about. Right, we are going to go into warm-up. We'll be back to run through the grid in just 1 second. All right, we're back after a quick break for our sponsor, Premier Racing Setups.
Right, as your weekly reminder, the race does not start on the green flag. The race will start when the class leader goes within the start zone, in racing nodes. And a reminder for the pole sitter in both classes to run the pit limiter from the exit of turn 14, that being the final corner, and excuse me, entry of turn 14 being the final corner, until you, the pole sitter, decide to throw it in the start zone. All that remains for me now is to wish you good luck and have a nice race.
Our race director, Andy, doing his usual spiel at the start of the race. I know some people were missing and Amy was doing it a couple of times. So great to have Andy back to do that. We won't have him next week, so enjoy it while it lasts. I'm sure lots of you will be going back and listening to that on repeat. 3 minutes left in warm-up, and let's go through get it up. There we go. Stefano Giovannini will start on pole ahead of Fabio Chambella, Quinton Verdonk, Alessio Lucignoli and Davide Accetti. That's your top 5. Then Groneveld is your highest placed GCP AM car ahead of Van der Velde, Muta, Preens. Hoyer will start from pole position in GT3 ahead of Petlin, Debu, Kirstens, Pena Gonzalez, Gak. The highest placed Amcar, I believe, ahead of Venosi, Bolstein, Van der Ven, Ventea Quadrado, Donny Deval. Lost my mouse before I go to the next page. There we go. Then Matt Corso, Diego Palcio Rodriguez, Luca Picardi, Ulrich Rame, Steven Scholten, Jens Sawyers, Balta Fernandez, Sam Barton. The last 2 cars, neither of them setting a time. I believe Sam Barton is starting in the pit lane, and I think Balta Fernandez also starting in the pit lane for an instant at Le Mans.
So there will be quite a few cars starting from the pit lane. The main thing will be to know if the GTP will exit the pit lane fast enough to avoid the GT3.
Yeah, that's the worst thing about starting in the pit lane as a GTP is if you come out behind the GT3 class, you then have to spend the next sort of 2 laps almost trying to overtake all of those GT3s. And not only does that mean you lose a load of time to the other hypercars, but it also means the GT3s are basically having to try and avoid you the whole time and not have an incident with you.
Especially GT3 on cold tires and battling on the first laps. It's always messy, and being in a GTP there, it's not the optimal thing to do.
Yeah, you lose a lot of time and it breaks up those really tight battles in GT3 as well that we love to see. So hopefully GTP starting in the pit lane can get out on time. Well, I suppose Apoya's been off track, only warm up, but let's take a look at what happened to the Spaniard. It's a little bit loose
Oh,
through turn
that's the hard
11.
one.
Yeah, it's really easy to do as well, but that's a big wreck, that car. Even the Aston Martin can't survive that, unfortunately. I say as he continues to drive. You actually get away with that? Surely not. I mean, what? That car looks okay. The Aston Martin built like a tank, but I thought even in that one it would have been broken.
I don't know how the car survived.
Giovanini crawling up the hill. I think practicing his start. Choosing where to go. The starter zone starts at the Coca-Cola sign, which I believe is still there on the left-hand side somewhere. And I think it finishes just before the start-finish line. See that when we get there. Speedville sausages. A nice little advert they've got there on the board. And I think all of the cheese signs now gone around this track. So in real life, which is very... I think the Coca-Cola sign used to line up with the pit. Noting full formation for the race here today. As we've got all 4 class sets up, but we're going to go to one lot of class sets for now. So we can fit everybody on, but he's always a little bit mixed up. Moment, that's good to see. And I was wrong. Nick Kirstens is the highest placed Amcar, places ahead of Melvin Gack. That's important points to Kirstens in that title battle, trying to claw back, get a little bit closer to Gack, have a chance at the championship. As the cars rev up their engines a little bit on the grid.
I still don't know why some do that. It just burns fuel in endurance race when you need to pit for fuel.
Yeah, exactly. And we've seen how these races can be won on being a couple of seconds quicker in a pit stop. So you want to save as much fuel as possible.
Car 97, Davide, you should be in the pit lane. You have a pit lane start, so please pull over and reset the pit lane. pull over on the straight after the next corner.
We're getting ready to go down the back straight here, Giovannini.
Should I drink the pizza in this lap before the race starts?
Or what that query was.
I think he asked to do the formation lap and pit, then come back like making a drive-through.
Ah, interesting. He's trying to get some tyre temperature. I heard that one. We'll see what race control.
Go through pit lane, the end of the formation lap.
That's a smart play because that means that you can drive right to the end of the pit lane and come out. You don't serve the hold in the pit lane, and when you get to the end of the pit lane, you can just go straight away. So if race control say it's okay, which they just have, I think those that haven't done that will be a bit miffed. Cheto, I don't think too pleased because he's in the pit lane and serving a pit start. But we'll see. Not make too much of a difference. Might just mean he comes out closer to the back of the rest of his class, which is never a bad thing for us. As in the fight is exactly what we want to see.
But with some fuel burn before the race start compared to if he do a normal pit lane start. So maybe a little bit more time in the pit lane compared to what he should have done with a normal pit lane start.
Oh, contact between the teammates. Big contact
during the formation lap, and I hope they don't have damage. If they have damage like that, it.
Yeah, let's take one more look at that actually, because that was quite a big hit.
The front end of that BMW look a bit messy on the left front.
Just coming to the final corner, so we'll go away in a second. But yeah, I think the Aston probably got damage as well there. Although we could see how much the Aston can take. So we're getting ready to go to the green. Stefano Giovannini will lead the field. Tambella in second place. Verdonk in third. Van der Velde in fourth. Lucignoli in fifth. As they get ready to go green, I believe they are now in the start zone. We saw Giovannini practicing the start. And they go now.
Green, green, green.
One of the drivers querying the position on the starting grid.
Say again, Brian? What was that?
Peter Prince starting one position in front.
I will double check later, but I'm assuming that's probably because one of the hypercars is in the pit lane and that row would have moved forwards.
Giovannini leads then, gets away successfully. I know with race controller on the radio, but we need to cover these battles. As they're going to get a slipstream now down towards turn 5. It's all fairly well behaved in hypercar. We'll learn it's a long race from here. We'll watch.
David exits the pit lane right now. Okay, he will be cleared from the GT3.
It's good to see Poya makes a good getaway, and we're already bumping wheels down the start finishes. The two cars that had contact there are still running, it looks like. So we got away with it somehow. Race control don't think I've actually looked at that one. And we're going to be side by side, 2x2, down into turn 1. As Poya leads successfully, that was what mattered for his race. A move there from the Mercedes. That's debut, I believe, on Pena. That's that done.
And the two teammates side by side. Down the hill.
Leaders side by side. Petterling takes the lead with the toe. Defends on the inside though, so can Poya get a better exit here? And they both touch the grass, and that ruins Poya's offence a little bit. Just killed the momentum there. There's an incident under investigation, and I believe that will be this one.
Yeah.
3 wide, contact,
Oh,
big hits. Oh, and another car tagged.
and it's still going. And it's still going.
Not surprised to see that under investigation. I believe this incident between Rafa Vento is also under investigation, or is no? This is Diego Paucho Rodriguez, and this is this other incident we've just seen from a different angle. So here you go. Thought he got away, nearly got away. Probably did get away with it though. Very light tap. And this is what happened to Venteo. This is under investigation. Oh, lost a rear on the grass. So nearly got away with it, finding a gap, but didn't quite in big contact. But we'll carry on.
Check.
That was an aggressive dive bomb, I guess.
Giovannini leads then, gap nearly to about a second. Nice and healthy.
Luca, is that for the 4x that you had earlier in the lap, or is there something else? The 4x is already marked on investigation. Nope, I found it. Okay. Yes, we will look at that as well.
Believe that is this incident here. Yeah, this is this incident that he's asking to be looked at as the Porsche didn't hold brakes, and Bacardi just avoided it. Wow. Do you believe that may have been, was that Jens who had the spin then? Oh no, this was Jens with a different spin. Catching the wall. Was it Yamik who had the spin in the Porsche? Yes, it was. Lost the rear. Bounced off the wall. Didn't hold the brakes from the looks of it, really, from that angle. I think that probably will end up being a penalty, you would have to say, Matteo. I think with your experience in the booth, that you would normally expect that to be.
Yeah,
penalty.
definitely at, I guess, 10 seconds.
Benozzi's getting a nice toe here. Really keeping the pressure on the BMW ahead. Kirsten's, his fight isn't with Venozzi, but he'll want to keep a car in between himself and Gak. That's going to be crucial to try and make sure he can finish this race ahead. Just gives him a little bit of buffer to play with.
And Gak is very aggressive on his overtake, so having a car between them is always a good thing.
Venozzi's got a mega run here, ducks out of the toe, chooses the outside for turn 1. And gets the toe from the Mercedes in head crucially as well. So is that going to let him edge just ahead? Yes, it does, as we've got a car going slow there. I think that's a lapped car, is it? Letting people through. That's Diego Paucho Rodriguez, who towed to the pit lane, just making sure he stays out of the way of the rest of the field. It's very good of him to do so. So Kirsten's now under direct threat from Gak behind, who's going to try and close up, and we'll see the car in front that he's fighting for the championship and go at him full steam ahead.
If he can keep the slipstream of the Lamborghini, he should be fine, but that Porsche is very quick.
And Barson's had a small moment, I believe. Has carried on, but showing as a crash on the tracker, and there you go. Onto the grass. Oh, Void. And Sawyers has had a moment as well. What happened here? We'll see. Jens, the black Mustang, the monster livery. The braking. Oh, just goes straight on. The lockup. No braking performances. Quinta Verdonk is a little bit loose inside. Just Jens tries to stay out of the way of both classes coming through, as the leaders are now catching more and more of the traffic. We've always seen this affect the lead, and it already is. Giovannini has gained about 3/10 on this lap. That is through the traffic, and will continue to do so. That gap 9/10 at the start of the lap, now down to nearly 3/10. As he continues to gain, the Mercedes is out wide. Stays out the way of both cars, though. And this is going to be a great opportunity for Ciambella, you would have to say, into turn 1. Traffic not helping. Traffic giving a toe to Giovannini there a little bit, which will have helped out
And
for
with
the
the
leader.
battle in front of them in GT3, it will be it will be a nightmare.
Yeah, they're starting to catch the lead pack, who are all fighting a little bit more aggressive. As you can see, Bolkstein all over Van der Ven and Gak all in one little battle there. So I'm not sure what's happened to Gak, actually. Gak has dropped back. Gak has had contact during this lap, so I'll try and find out what happened there. It's this here. So Bolkstein trying to get past Gak. Oh, and there's contact under braking. Both cars getting some damage. That's what really packed these guys up.
It didn't look like the Porsche got damaged, so
Oh, spin! Is that the leader? That's the leaders! The leaders have crashed! The two Ferrari teammates into each other. That gives the lead to Verdonk.
oh, and it's still going behind. What an awful rejoin.
Oh, and another one of the teammates caught up in it now.
Oh, I don't want to be in that briefing room. I don't want to be there when he will talk about that.
Need an earlier replay of that, so let me just try and find one. Giovannini. Oh, tried to go up the inside of the GT3, which caused the initial contact. And teammate trying to get through was the next bit.
It was the other absolute.
So Ciambella goes off into the gravel. Trying to find a way back on track. Not a gap, not a gap, not a gap. Comes on track, there was not a gap, and his teammate goes flying into him. Both of them with big damage, and this could have big championship implications. Quinta Verdonk is now your race leader. Well, we'll see what race control think of that. I believe they're all under investigation. And race control, just so you're aware, penalties not coming through on my iRace control at the moment. Never mind, just managed to sync up, so I will now be able to see penalties that are awarded.
And that's gonna be awful for the championship. Verdonk is very close to them in terms of point. And with Lucignoli and
Yeah, but
Ciambella all the way down, it's gonna be very hard to stay in front.
Verdonk only 66 points behind those cars, all with very similar drop rounds. Verdonk, you would imagine at the moment, would take the championship lead. Poyer's closing back up to Petelin as well. Keep an eye on that. This Preens is also very close to Groneveld. He's looking for a move, actually, Preens on Groneveld here. Thinks better of it, though.
still going and put some pressure on the Cadillac. Maybe try to get the run there. The Cadillac go on the grass. And with GT3 in front, maybe he can try something. Yeah, he boxed him behind. Great pass from Prince.
Yeah, used the traffic brilliantly there. And actually has now put Groeneveld under pressure from Brian Mutter as well. Close at the lead in GT3 with Stanley Debut coming to join the battle here as the traffic is creating all sorts of chaos, and Debut's going to get a mega run here on Poya. Debut to the outside of Poya. Poya trying to defend, but I'm not sure there's much you can do there with the momentum that Stanley Debut has there. Has to defend a little bit into Canada corner, but stays ahead and will now chase after Petelin. All three of those GTPs caught up in that instant are back out on track. Obviously, we'll have fueled up, so we'll just need one more stop to the end, but have used their fast repair and about a minute at least behind, and 2 minutes for Chambella behind the leader. So big opportunity here for the Donk if he can just keep it clean and on the road for the rest of the race. Lead 4, all within a second, nearly half a second of each other. Great to see. Chambella now back ahead of all of the GT3s. Obviously, that is not the aim for the car that was right out front for that multi-car incident with the teammates.
There's something very interesting going in GT3. Some cars already pit to try some undercut.
Looking up,
I was wondering,
got a few at the back, yeah.
Why is there some cars so far back? And in fact, Gak, Scholten, Ramet, Serez, and Rodriguez already pit.
They've already pit, and for Gak
and Fernandez as well.
For Gak and Scholten as well, they've definitely done that at a... I think Fernandez had the pit lane start. I think that's what that is. But Gak and Scholten have done that at a point where they can do one more stop now to get to the end. So if they fix the damage that they got, and they're going to the end. So this is now danger territory for Kirstens, because Gak is in free air. He's just going to be pushing on, trying to do this alternate strategy and beat out his rival. Bolkstein and Venteo side by side through Canada corner. The Mercedes without a bumper is passed by the Mercedes with a bumper. Bolkstein trying to find a way back through, and will stick right on the back of Venteo up the hill, and we'll try and tow all the way down into turn 1. Debut making inroads on Petelin out front as well, so keep an eye on that. As Gonzalez also making progress onto Poya, who's not having the best of days. Weird to say that for a driver who's currently in P3, but the standards are high. Poya.
And he's in P3, but only 1 second down the leader, so...
Sonny Duvall and Sam Barton fighting out as Barton goes back up the inside, and there's contact in turn 1. Sorry, that's Duvall back up the inside, but there's contact in turn 1 between those two cars.
Classic GT3 racing.
Stanley Debut, really impressive lap so far this time round, and has made big progress on the leader, and will maybe even be looking for a move towards the end of this lap.
Fortunately, he put a wheel on the grass, so not the best exit he can opt for. But at the end of the start-finish line, maybe he can try something.
Turn 1, Tom and Tony blocking. As he's been reported.
That was Kirsten's reporting for his teammate, not for himself.
Reporting Jens, turn 3 or 2.
Lots of incidents being reported today. Hypercars separating out our top two a little bit there, so we'll see if they punch up a little bit more. Ben Groneveld seems to have good momentum here on Brian Muter. Strong in the braking zones, it seems, is Cadillac, and that is what we're used to.
Brian, there's nothing there for you to report, so yeah.
Brutal from race control there.
Whoa, okay.
Nothing there to report, so no, said Andy. Run here for Groneveld? No, has to think better of it, trying to do something a little bit different. Big bend. You can get a foot down now and tow all the way to Canada corner. It's a limiter almost there, Groneveld.
He's coming very close. Maybe if he saved some energy, he can try something at the T1. Maybe he just want to close a little bit and try at T3.
Gaining a lot on the toe, but yeah, he might be better off trying something. Turn 3 or turn 5 maybe. But he's not going to get past the traffic, and that is going to really hurt this charge. Actually, let's put Giovannini all over the back of Groneveld now.
In this kind of multi-class racing, traffic can do a lot, but it can also
It can benefit you and it can cost you, can't you? Traffic gives and it takes, yeah. And this time it costs because Giovannini is looking quick on that recovery drive. That incident's still under investigation, so there could be some penalties to come. No penalties on the timing board yet. Eye out. We're a third of the way into this race. Expects us to do about 5 more minutes for GTPs and GT3s alike likely to come into the pit lane for their first stop. Which would be a good indicator of how that alternate strategy is working for Gak and Scholten as well.
Not really, because they don't put as much fuel as the others, so they will be far ahead. Well, of course, if
But
they're
that
still
pays
behind...
back. Yep. Sorry, Matteo, go on. I was going to say that pays back later on for the other cars who will have a shorter stop for their second stint.
Yeah, but if they're still behind the car they're battling with after the first pit stop, we'll know it's not the best strategy, but they should be far ahead.
Stanley Debut has made a bit more progress on the leader and is looking really good here.
Yeah, 0.3 of a second coming into the last corner. It can be an overtake opportunity.
To the pit lane. Oh, and he follows him in.
Oh!
Thought about staying out, but dives in at the very last second.
So it's gonna be a battle in the pit lane for the lead.
We're going to stay and watch this one. A couple of cars have carried on. That's Carlos Bozapoya carrying on and Felipe Peña Gonzalez carrying on. But Debu and Pestelin, your on-track battle for the lead, have both come into the pit lane. So we'll see what the crews can do. One box behind the other, both staying on the ground. No tyres. Mate comes in behind. That's Kerson's getting the fast repair there. Who saved enough fuel in that battle? Maybe Debu saved a little bit in the tow and did save a bit in the tow. Gets away just before, and they're going to be neck and neck coming out of the pit lane.
That's gonna be close.
Debu's going to try and hang it around the outside, surely, but can't make it work. Can he cut back to the inside for turn 3? I think he can. Side by side into turn 3 on the brace. Can Debu get the move done? The Lamborghini tries to defend. Not much he can do there. Debu holds him up a little bit on the apex and then gets a power down to try and make sure he can't do the switch back. All of your race leaders in GTP are in.
And now we need to watch close to Carlos Bozapuya. If he do a great lap, he can be ahead. Even more if...
oh, deep for Debu on the brakes. Sorry to cut in there, but Debu deep on the brakes trying to defend from Petelin, who now has the inside line into turn 6. Side by side still. Debu will now have the inside line for turn 7.
and
Gets back ahead. And look at Gak. Gak right behind them. Gak's made so much ground up with that alternate strategy. Obviously, like you said, for different fuel loads, but he's jumped Kirsten's by about 5 seconds. So obviously the pit stops will swing the other way, but great pace from Gak. And like you say, they need to be careful because Poya and Peña Gonzalez now in the pit lane, and they're costing themselves time to the people they're fighting.
How far will they be? There's not much room between those 3 cars, so where will Carlos exit? He's exiting the pit right now. Is
Tony the Wow blocking Tom Barton again. Oh.
And they've lost out massively.
The Pinion not blocking.
Poya and
Whoa.
Gonzalez have both jumped the guys that were battling. No, Gonzalez drops behind Boo momentarily. But wow, they lost out loads of time there. One lap longer on fuel, which meant there was more room in the tank, potentially. And a shorter pit stop as well for Poya. So, massive, massive job there for Poya. And that's going to give him such an advantage now for the rest of the race.
and they're pushing behind.
3 wide. Petelin is going to go into the back of his teammate in GTP. No, he doesn't. And Gonzalez gets through on Petelin. And Gak now all over the back of these guys. He wants that overall win. Not just for GT3 AM. Oh, and he gets up the inside of Gonzalez, who's shoved a little bit, I think, by Petelin there.
As a former teammate of Melvin, I know he won't stay back. He will put everything on the line to battle for that win.
Remember, he's probably got a lighter fuel load at this stage in the race as well, which is going to help him attack the other cars. Onto the grass a little bit there. Have they calmed down just a little bit? Maybe. But the leader, 3.5 seconds out front, Carlos Bozapoya, going 1 lap longer on that previous tank. Kirsten's looking for a move on Venosi. Try and get back past Gak on the road, but he's got about 4 seconds to make up once he does clear Venosi. If he clears Venosi as well.
To be honest, if I was Kirsten's now, I won't overtake Venosi. Venosi is quick, so why overtake him? Because Gak is gonna get a longer pit window, so a longer pit stop. If he stay behind and close on Gak, he will be red.
And he can use Venosi for a tow, I suppose, as well, so save a little bit of fuel whilst he does catch up. So I like that strategy a lot.
And they already catch like 1.5 seconds. There was 5 seconds behind them when they exit the pit lane.
Oh, Gak a little bit wide in the background as well. Holstein looking for a move on Matt Quoso ahead.
To enter the top 10. Just to stay behind. Or maybe that Aston Martin got so much top speed. They are down the hill. Maybe he can try something. He's far away.
Needs to be a little bit closer under braking, especially in GT3 class, to make a move like that work, unfortunately. Venosi gaining on Gak, as Pena is also gaining on Petlin. So his strategy might work for Kirsten to just sit there.
They're not on the same strategy, so why risk it all on the track?
You're right, it's a smart play, and that's what's going to win the championship. Muta all over the back of Preens. This is for the AM win and the overall podium as they run. I'm down a little bit now, but Giovannini closing in behind. Timing tower seems to keep freezing a little bit, I'm not sure. Timing tower is frozen completely. Matteo, just checking you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. I was watching the battle as Brian tried to stay close to Prince, but now he's under pressure from Giovannoni. And the Italian in the Ferrari is very quick. He was battling for the win before being pumped off by his teammates, so a very aggressive recovery drive,
Moving on
and
the
there
brake.
down the inside. There you go, into P4 overall. Prince in front gained a lot of time with the traffic. There's a GT3 in the pit lane. I don't know which one. I guess it's GAC. Yeah,
Gak
it looked
into
like
the pit lane, yeah.
Blocking.
Someone on the radio for blocking there, not sure who that was. Apologies, just trying to get the timing tab back online.
Melvin Gag come back from the pit lane and still in clean air, so maybe can try to make that work.
There we go, we kicked it back to life. Would you look at that? So, we wait for the final stops of the other cars to see where Melvin shakes out, but the pace was looking good. See how that folds later on in the session. Peña Gonzalez still looking for that podium. Close to the once race leader, Petelin, who took the lead into turn 5 on the opening lap. Chambella into the pit lane, that's for fuel. I believe they're doing that slightly earlier stop after the incident that we saw early in the race. No penalties yet for that incident that I've seen. Race controller free to correct me if that's wrong, but I believe that is the current state of play. No penalties awarded in this race so far.
I will check, but I think it's only racing incident for now. Yeah, only racing incident.
This is Rame passing Tiemann Scholten, who I believe is in the pit lane. We've cut to that. Kirsten's getting close to Nosy behind once again. And Poyer's just had mega pace. The Boo came out a lot closer to him. I know it was, I think after the first lap it was about 3.2 seconds, 3.4 seconds, around there. And that gap now has just increased sort of significantly in the last few laps, and that's now up to 4.5 seconds. So that's a nice healthy margin for Poyer to have. Maybe he's short fueled a little bit and we'll need a little bit more in the final stop. We don't know that, but we will see. Waiting for the penalty. I think we're expecting at least one unsafe rejoin penalty. Would you agree? Oh, Mateo's left. He's gone to find out some information. I think we're expecting an unsafe rejoin penalty at least. Be my assumption for that incident. Battle tightening up. What did you find out, Mateo?
I found out they ate the crash between the 3 Absolute.
They hate it.
Yeah, because I don't know what to put about the penalty.
Venosi with a spin.
Oh,
And he's got to
and-
catch his GTP teammate.
oh, what
Aceto
an awful race for
with big
Absolute
damage.
Racing.
Yeah, terrible
Absolute
race for
Racing.
Absolute Motorsport. Terrible, terrible day. My Mooters had a 2x as well, so I'm not sure what's happened to Brian. Oh, losers are braking.
Oh,
We said that was difficult in qualifying when we ran through a lap. That's a meatball for Aceto, who's going to drag it back to the pit lane. Don't believe has used his fast repair, so hopefully we'll get away with it and can top it with fuel and probably get to the end. Yeah, terrible, terrible day for Absolute Motorsport Aslef, who started very strong in qualifying. Yeah, looks fast repair there because I mean, just fueling up, go to the end. But you know, well over a lap down now, unfortunately. Boso teammate to Poya, chasing down Bolstein for P8 overall, but that is not an actual position. That just allows him to try and close in on the AM podium, which is currently Kershens, Van der Ven, Rafa Vento. Obviously, Gak in that fight as well once the pit stop cycles play out. Donny Davala's got a black flag. I believe that's for instant point limits. He's showing us 18 on my time. I believe what that is for. So race control hate the incident between the three Asalif cars because they don't know who to penalise.
yeah, they don't know what to do with the first contact. Then they will go on the second further rejoin. So, let's be honest, it was messy.
It was a very big bit of contact, lots of different individual bits of contact as well. So, see what they come up with. We would like an answer before the end of the race, Andy and Amy, so we know what's happening. And Petalin, what's happened here? We missed that. Amy Gonzalez gets past Petalin.
We fall back behind.
Oh, sorry, this is Petalin that's closed in on Debut. Sorry, I'm looking at these cars the wrong way around, so I was getting confused. So Petalin all over the back of Debut. Debu's struggling. He's dropped a couple more tenths back from Poya, and Petalin's now got pace in this stage of the race. Giovannini's got a black flag. That is a drive-through penalty for causing a collision and not holding brakes. Wow.
Yeah, that's for the rejoin, I guess.
So Giovannini a little bit further back in the championship than his teammates. Lucignoli, obviously the championship leader, might even benefit from his teammates' drive-through because it will put him a little bit closer to him. Currently in 4th in GTP. So it could be a lot worse of a result for the GT Pro cars. Absolute Motorsport Athlete, but it's obviously going to be a swing. It's so tight up there that anything other than any time you finish behind your rival is a bad result in this championship, given how close they've all been all season. Donny Duval yet to serve that drive through. We'll need to serve it at some point to avoid the risk of being penalised. What's happened to Ben Groneveld off in the gravel at Canada Corner?
And it looks like the car is done. Oh, that's gonna be a huge crash. Yeah, and that's gonna be a wheel.
Front left suspension gone, you can see it there quite clearly. towed back to the pit lane as well.
Oh, that's not how you want to lose a podium.
I believe was running second in AM as well at the time, unfortunately for him. Giovannini's just served his drive-through penalty then.
And Donny Dewar do the same at the same time. He's in the pit lane right now. The leader is in the pit lane.
Oh, Petelin
Oh!
stays out. Last minute decision there from Francesco Petelin to stay out. Gonzalez in, Poya in, Debut in. What are the others going to do?
And Ciambella also get a drive-through, a stop-and-go penalty for the rejoin. So Giovannoni got a drive-through for something else. Only for the initial contact. Okay.
I think that makes sense. His rejoin was alright, and then there's an unsafe rejoin which caused a collision for Ciambella, which race control really don't like unsafe rejoins. So that's why that's a slightly bigger penalty. I'm trying to remember what this order was before, but I believe Gonzalez has just jumped Debut.
Yeah, Debut was in front. And now he's behind. Maybe Peterlin can make it work. Like he lose the lead of that race, battling with Debut.
Hopefully for his sake he can take the lead in the same manner.
Oh, there was a lot of gap between him and Bozapuya in front, so I don't think he's gonna be leading, but he can close a little bit and go out of this fight. That's a small
GTP 's
track
gonna-
and that's so hard to pass in a GTP when GT3s are battling each other. Nicely done from Prince. And a lot of people in the pit lane. The overall leader Verdonk. The 4 remaining cars in GT3.
So watch the battle with Kirstens, who goes up for tyres. Did not expect that. Kirstens is going to lose a lot of time in this stop. And that might really help out Melvin Gack, who's just coming through the final corner now.
I don't think it was voluntary. I think he forgot to tell his mechanic to not put new tires.
That's Gack.
Oh, that's
that's Kirstens. He's going to be clear. So, Kirstens is going to have to do a lap on cold tyres and then use the fresh rubber after that to try and close in.
I don't think he put all 4-wheel. It will be maybe a little bit behind if he put all 4-wheel, maybe only 1 or 2. It should be easier to warm them up.
Petelin has closed in massively through that pit cycle. He's now just 2.9 seconds behind Boza Poya. And Fernandez has carried on for one more, I believe. Pitted a bit off cycle slightly. Oh no, not really with the others. So I think there's going to be in this lap for Fernandez.
GTP.
Copy, turn again to me.
Still not happy about something on the radio.
Didn't catch what he was saying. Fernandez in the pit lane. So that's gonna be a fight for the podium. Pena Gonzalez or debut. Pena Gonzalez chose the inside, chose the outside, debut close, and he came back on the racing line.
Tony Duval in for another drive-through penalty, I believe. Oh, that's a stop-go 10 seconds. Reckless driving and causing a collision on lap 11. Can't read any more of it than that. At the box.
And there's traffic in that battle.
Whoa! And that's the Louts car getting in the way and not backing out of it. Oh, and they're pushing each other through as the Louts car goes off the road.
That's so much pressure on Debo right now. He has to pass some traffic and not being attacked by Pena Gonzalez. That's not a great position. But for now, he's doing it perfectly.
Trying to find the incident, but it's not coming up for Donny Duval. His penalty was for while leaving the pits, but I can't get it to come up, unfortunately. Apologies for that.
Please check that with Giovanni.
Oh,
Scholten
that's
not
a
happy.
multi-class problem.
This is how Diego Pelcho Rodriguez got past Yorick Ramey. Whoa, big send at the inside. What a move. We're going to watch that one again off board.
Oh, I know where he do it.
Andy, just to confirm, did you get my report?
He might have benefit from the blue flag showing
I'm
for
getting
the
screened at by
from the
Andy, but
two
yes,
car
we are
behind.
listening to them.
Copy.
Used it well to his advantage, though. No time penalties in this race, just lots of drive-throughs and stop and goes. Different that, what you please. Holstein trying to get past Rafa Venteo, the AM driver in front. Just for pride at this point. In the day, 9 minutes to go, 9 seconds is the lead for Quinten Verdonk. We've hardly spoken about over Stefan van der Velde, but it's been an impressive drive from Verdonk, kept his cool when he saw the collision in front, navigated his way through, and leads the race because of it.
And that's nicely done. He is in front and is probably gonna take the championship lead with that.
Which is big benefit to him. incredibly close out front, but this will be a nice way to try and take the lead, build a little bit of a buffer potentially going into the final round next week. Final round, by the way, will take place at Hockenheim with the outer layout, so an alternate layout to normal, which we think will increase racing and benefit overtaking. It's going to be great to see if it does. Bolstein extra close this time by on Vente Quadrado. He's going to have to pick inside or outside. Sends it to the inside. Can he get it done on the brakes? No, he can't. The nosy has a drive-through penalty. Not what I was expecting to see.
But with that fake dive bomb, he make the other. Oh, oh no!
This is
oh,
what the
no.
drive-through penalty is for. We
Yeah,
saw this earlier, I remember, and I'm not surprised that that is a drive-through penalty.
I don't know. Without seeing much more, I can't really say because it looked like he's on the brakes the whole time.
I think Race Control think
Maybe
he
not.
wasn't on the brakes, so they probably had a closer look. Yeah. It did look like he would have struggled to stop completely. Maybe could have...
In fact, Race Control take a very much closer look than us, so we're gonna refer to their judgment.
Chesso trying to get past Ben Groneveld here. For position is Am versus Pro. GT3 on the inside.
Venusi currently
Guys,
serving
but I can
it-
read the
it
why
drives through.
I- sorry.
And yeah, we understand he's not happy about it because he's gonna lose so much places. The field is very packed up, so yeah. From P5 to currently P10, maybe P11. Probably P11.
Like I say, that is a lot of places to lose from someone that was fighting for the podium. That actually puts him in last place in Pro as well. Running in 4th before this. Nick Kirsten's that gap is coming down to Melvin Gatt using those fresh tyres.
And with 5 minutes to go, it's gonna be a close battle for the final laps.
If he closes up, you'd have to say it's going to be a mega advantage, especially through corners like turn 9 and 10. That's the big bend, and then the sort of fast kink into turn 11, and then also just under braking can have a lot more performance. So I think there's a good advantage here for Kirstens when he closes up, and it does look like it's a win given how much he's gained just this lap on Melvin Gack to get the move done. Really closing up. Gap now under a second between the two. It's a fight for the win at Road America and the Drivers' Championship in GT3 AM. Oh, into the pit lane,
And
Melvin Gack.
Gack has to pit. Oh,
Gosh.
that's gonna change a lot of things. He was short on fuel. He pitted too early on the first one. Then had to pit too early on the second.
That is going to cost Melvin a lot if we go to our Class Set 2
Oh,
standings.
and he missed the pit. He missed his pit box.
Pulls out now from the pit lane. And drops down to what is going to be 4th place. And will struggle to catch up to anyone in front. It's a 27-second gap ahead to the next AM car. So that is going to really, really hurt Gak's race. That's going to cost him a lot of points in the standings now.
He got a lot of points compared to Carstens. 260 to be completely transparent, but I don't know if he will be champ after this race. I think he might be.
Wow, big disappointment for Gak. Like you said, he's got a lot of buffer in those points. But that's going to eat into that buffer and make him potentially vulnerable going into the final race. Aceto, once again, pressuring Groeneveld. This is just for pride on track position.
Don't
Get a good run
expect
up
him
the
to
hill.
take too much risk. You know it's not gonna award him more points. He don't have any fast repair left, so if he crashed, he will be way behind Ciambella.
Just missed this. This is Vento Quadrado getting past Michael van der Ven. And braking into turn 1. Just in front of the battle we were watching. Nicely done. Oh, and the GT's he's through. Sorry, missed the pass in GTP. Let's take a look at how he got that done. On the exit, it's going to be into turn 3, which is very brave. Oh, he saw the car in front get caught up by the traffic and decided to send it. Whoa!
Maybe a
Catches the
little bit too much sand,
Oh,
but
wow.
it's fine. Groeneveld still in the pit lane with yet another penalty. Not a great race from him.
No, a difficult day, and that's a second drive through for track limits. 8 seconds left on the clock. Quinton Verdonk is about halfway around this track, going through turn 7 at the moment, coming up turn 8. That's be the final lap of the race. So all sort of quieted down a little bit, apart from Michael van der Ven and Rafael Venta Quadrado. Van der Ven will want to be getting back by. Even do so. Good toe up the hill.
And the Mercedes in front is very fast. Maybe he can try on the outside. It will be risky. He can try to cut him. Go back on the inside. A little bit wide from the Mercedes. The Aston Martin stay behind.
Quinton Verdonk will win today's race after avoiding the incident from the Asalif cars in front. Will win at Road America in GTP event, still racing IMSA series at the penultimate round as well, and will carry that momentum forwards into the next round. Van der Velde will finish second. Pete Preens will finish third on the road. Overall podium AM race winner. Giovannini has got a 15-second time penalty, which will actually drop him behind Lucignoli when he gets to the flag. He's about 8 seconds back, 9 seconds back at the moment. So the day could have been an awful lot worse for Lucignoli. Groeneveld back past Aceto.
In the final lap.
How did he do that? Is Aceto low on fuel? Because that looks like he's just lifting to me. I think the race might have gone a lot longer than he was expecting.
Yeah, Aceto is very slow behind. Might be. Yeah, it looks like he stopped. nearly stopped there. Oh, it's gonna be hard to cross the finish line.
You're probably saving a little bit of fuel to power him up the hill at the end. Does just get up and over the hill. Carlos Bozapoya wins in GT3 Pro and overall. Petelin in second, Debut in third. Kirstens will win in AM ahead of Venteo and Michael van der Ven still battling out those two for the AM podium. And van der Ven just behind Venteo in the end. Sure, podiums there. Winter Verdonk ahead of Van der Velde, ahead of Giovannini. Giovannini, of course, like I said, with that penalty, which I think will drop him behind Lusignoli. Pete Preens wins ahead of Muta and Groneveld in AM. GT3 AM won by Venteo Quadratic, Michael van der GT3 Pro won by Carlos Bozapoya ahead of Pet. We'll run through our full results now as well. GTP Pro won by Verdonk, Van der Velde, Giovannini, Lusignoli, Aceto, Ciambella, Lusignoli. People finish ahead of Giovannini once all is said and done. GT3 Pro won by Carlos Bozapoya ahead of Petelin, who closed down a lot at the end, and Debut, Peña Gonzalez, Bolkstein, Hernandez, and Ozzy in 7th place. GTP AM won by Pete Preens ahead of Brian Muta and Ben Groneveld. And then GT3 AM won by Nick Kirstens ahead of Rafael Venteo Quadrado, Michael van der Ven, Melvin Gack in 4th place in the end after having to do that extra pit stop. Then Timon Scholten, Yorick Rame, Diego Palcho Rodriguez, Donny Duval, Matt Quoso, points scoring drivers. Alright, thanks very much to everyone that joined us. Matteo, you got a moment of the race.
It was very fun to be there as well. A huge race. Luckily, I was not at race control for this one because it was messy. So thank you, George, for hosting me there.
No, very good to have you.
I hope everyone enjoyed this race as much as we do. Thanks, everyone, for watching the stream. And I let George continue.
Yeah, so the official results will be posted on the Discord and on the website, so you can head over to the link in the description. Championship standings, once they've been posted by Andy. That normally takes a couple of days to process any instant reports that come through. You're all very used to now. And we will be back next week, like we said, for the Hockenheim Ring, a 60-minute finale, change from 90 minutes we've had for a while, but back to 60 minutes for that finale race next week. So make sure to join us and see who comes out in top. It's going to be very, very close in GTP, so we look forward to seeing you all there. And we'll see you all soon.